Asia holds about 97% of the world's buffalo population, and sure, India has the highest total number. But Pakistan boasts the highest global density. We are talking 18 buffaloes for every 100 people in the country. To put that in perspective, that represents a staggering 15% of the entire Asian buffalo wealth, right there within Pakistan's borders. This livestock footprint is just deeply embedded in the national geography and economy.
And if we want to localize this investment zone even further, we just look at where these assets are clustered. Census data shows the province of Punjab holds a massive 65% of the national buffalo population. For an investor, that is a highly concentrated market density. You don't have to build infrastructure across an entire massive nation to see a return. You can literally focus your supply chain operations, your vet services, and your processing plants right here in Punjab to access the lion's share of the entire resource.
Moving on to Section 2, Nili Ravi yield and margins. Let's examine the actual asset delivering this superior output.
The Nili Ravi breed is not just your average animal. It is an absolute powerhouse of production. This specific breed delivers an enormous daily milk yield of over 28 liters per day. When you're looking at dairy investments, raw output volume is obviously your baseline for commercial viability, right? Well, the Nili Ravi provides a baseline that competes on a truly global scale. But it's not just about the volume. The real game changer here is the composition. Buffalo milk hits an impressive 18 to 23% total solids, compared to standard cow's milk, which sits way down at around 13 to 16%. Those extra solids mean a massive boost in nutrient density. We are talking 58% more calcium for bone health, really high levels of natural antioxidants for immunity, and 43% less cholesterol. So you aren't just getting more milk, you're getting a significantly richer, healthier, and much denser raw material. So what does this mean for local dairy processors? Well, these high milk solids act as a much higher margin raw material. Because there's way less water and significantly more fat and protein per liter, it directly increases the output yield and profitability for high-value products. Think butterfat, premium cheeses, traditional sweets, ice creams, the whole shebang. Processors literally need less raw milk to produce the same volume of these end products compared to using cow's milk. That is a massive driver for commercial margins. Let's pivot slightly to Section 3, nutritional dominance over beef. This is a genuinely premium meat asset. This angle right here is massively undermarketed. Compared to standard bovine beef, buffalo meat is an absolute heavyweight when it comes to nutrition. It boasts 11% more protein, 40% less cholesterol, and 10% more minerals. Factor in that it has 55% fewer calories and lower saturated fat. It's a lean, high-protein asset perfectly aligned with today's global health and fitness trends. Buffalo meat isn't just some byproduct of the dairy industry. It is a premium, health-oriented product that is just waiting to be positioned correctly. All right, Section 4, supply chain and sustainability risks. Every smart investor has to analyze the ground-level bottlenecks. This breakdown right here shows a stark dichotomy in the market constraints. It's kind of like a tale of two realities. On one side, rural, remote farmers are struggling with disease control, rock-bottom prices from processing plants, and crucially, really poor genetics because they just don't have access to breeding bulls. The orbit of artificial insemination just hasn't reached them yet, severely restricting their profit potential. On the flip side, commercial, peri-urban farmers are fighting a completely different battle: sustainability. They are getting hit super hard by climate issues like low rainfall and inadequate water storage, which directly triggers escalating grain and feed prices, absolutely crushing their operating margins. And it doesn't stop there. There's a deeply systemic issue with local milk marketing. Widespread milk dilution and adulteration artificially suppress fair product value. Since the market is flooded with diluted products, processing plants just keep their buying prices incredibly low. This fractures the entire local milk marketing system. It basically means rural farmers end up just keeping animals for their own consumption and selling the excess for an absolute pittance, completely missing out on the potential profit margins of that premium, high-solid Nili Ravi milk we just talked about. On the meat side of the supply chain, the constraints are honestly just as frustrating. Despite the nutritional superiority we just looked at, local beef prices remain completely stagnant. Because farmers aren't getting a premium for the meat, they literally can't afford to raise the males. This is causing farmers to slaughter day-old calves just to save on milk and feed. For an investor, you look at that and it's a massive, tragic loss of future asset value. So how do we fix it? Section 5, strategies for market optimization. Let's look at the actionable steps. To truly unlock this market, strategic infrastructure capital is required across these 4 steps. Step 1, we absolutely have to expand artificial insemination networks to rural villages to solve that breeding bull shortage and elevate the genetics. Step 2, establish transparent, quality-based, fair pricing models that actually reward high milk solids. That combats the dilution issue and incentivizes the rural farmers. Step 3, develop export or premium local channels to drive up beef prices, turning those day-old calves from a liability into a highly profitable asset. And Step 4, invest in commercial-scale water and feed storage to insulate those peri-urban farmers from climate and grain price volatility.
So the fundamental question we are left with is this. We have an unmatched market density. We've got the superior 28-liter yields of the Nili Ravi breed. We have a product that absolutely dominates standard cow's milk and solid margins, and standard beef in nutritional value. All the raw ingredients for an incredibly profitable industry are literally sitting right there. So who is going to step up and build the ground-level infrastructure that finally unlocks this market's true value? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gives you a clear, actionable lens into the Pakistan buffalo opportunity.